Good day, everyone, and welcome to our new session as we go forward on our unit CHCCCS038, which is facilitate the empowerment of people receiving support. On our last video, we actually stopped on what is personal-centered care. So today we are going to be starting off, of course, from where we stop, and the table in front of us shows more about, or tells us more about the traditional way of doing things and what personal-centered care actually means. Before now, we are exposed to, or we actually perform what they call traditional way of supporting people receiving care. One of them is services based on clinical and medical advice, either from the nurse or from our GP, and the clients are required to comply with the support that staff actually instructed them to do. And lastly, care strategies prioritize the management of illness and medical conditions over the clients themselves. But nowadays that we are having what they call personal-centered care, the service now is based on client personal goals and preference. The clients are empowered to make their own choices and decisions, and care strategies focus on improving the overall health quality of life of our clients. With personal-centered care, each of the conditions mentioned previously, or each of the conditions that someone might be going through, either mental health, disability, or whatever, each of these conditions, we need to always remember that the client is define their own conditions. To use all the information with regards to their condition in the following discussion, in combination with specific details on the client, including their personal background, their care plan, their goals, as well as their preferences. A care worker or a support worker caring for a client with a generic or genetic disorder must provide appropriate care. This care must allow the client to manage symptoms and fully take part in all activities. Assistance must always be based on the health advice from their doctor. And we as a care worker or support worker, our duty is of course to educate our clients on how to use probably assistive technology to actually help them to be much more empowered or to be much more independent. We need to have understanding about strategies that works well for our clients, that will help them in dealing with any form of symptom or disorder. Our responsibility also involves monitoring the client's report and development of symptoms and general conditions. In this way, we will be able to actually raise the red flag if we know that, or if we notice that something is not appropriate, and managing medication and therapeutic techniques as advised by the client health professionals. Of course, with regards to this, there will be appropriate training that we are going to be focusing on that will help us in achieving this goal. Multiple factors can pose challenges for us as a carer who are aiming to empower our clients. Out of these numerous conditions, one of them sometimes it can be really stressful or less experienced care worker. This supporting a client can really be quite challenging for someone that is, of course, coming in afresh. Even someone that has been in the industry for a while, we still face quite a lot of challenge, but because of the passion and the interest that we have in this job, we actually overcome all this. So some of the factors that can contribute to poor quality of care that can endanger our clients, we need to always avoid any poor quality of services and dissatisfaction of the people under our care. It would be best to seek assistance from more experienced and qualified staff if we think that we are being overwhelmed, or even ask for help, as it will lessen the risk of endangering the client and adversely affecting their well-being. So as a care worker, it is always important that we provide a personal-centered cultural need, as this is the basic requirement for providing personal-centered care. The person has a right to require service that does not discriminate based on their culture, background, and the care worker must identify, accept, and uphold these needs that the care or the client are actually requiring us to provide them. Some example of cultural needs can be physical, food and eating schedule, preferred clothing. All these, of course, are specific to our client. Other than the physical, they also have some social preferences, which can include communication style, language, choices of word based on the cultural background of our client. Sometimes they might prefer to have visitors, and at times they might just enjoy being alone. Another thing that we need to always have at the back of our mind is the spiritual need. The religion, symbol, and item that our client actually valued. Prayer and other religion tradition should also be upheld. So providing the cultural needs of the person have the following benefits. 1. It allows the person to recover more easily from stress. It distracts the person from their medical problem and conditions. It helps the person to recover and heal more quickly. It reduces the risk of depression and other emotional problems, and it improves the relationship between the person and the staff caring for them. So when consulting with your client to identify their cultural needs, you may consider these strategies. You review the client's individual plan. Of course, every client have their own specific goal. So understanding and reviewing this individual plan is very, very important. Ask the client questions about their culture. Provide the client with what they expect from you and the organization, as well as interview some of the client's family and friends. This, of course, is what we call engaging the stakeholders. So this is a strategy you may use as you consult with your client, and concept that allow the care worker to be able to, in moment of any interact with their client. And while we are doing this, it is very important that we show what we call active listening. Active listening follows some of the following principles. HALT refers to stopping everything you are doing while interacting with your client. including doing some other tasks. Filling out the forms or even speaking with your client, try as much as possible to give them the full attention. And thinking about other things should be actually we should try as much as possible to not to think of other things when we are actually engaging them. They need a full focus, that is refer to removing any form of distraction that might be going on in our mind. To demonstrate that we are actively listening to them, of course we need to concentrate on what is essential. Block out everything else that is unimportant and make effort to refer to expanding energy and talking and taking time to actually communicate with them. This means purposeful using verbal as well as non-verbal clue to fully engage with your client. Doing so will allow you to be in a very good position to talk with your client and assist them in achieving their goal. Identify, respond to, and report breach of human rights. Complying to proper identification and reporting has the following benefits. As a care worker, it is our expectation and it is our right to uphold all the social justice, and we can fully maintain the obligations. Some of the rights that we need to always uphold include the duty of care, the code of conduct, our organization policies and procedure outlined in our responsibility. As a care worker, we will be able to assist the government in improving its services by providing better assistance. How do we do this? We only do this by identifying any form of breach to human rights. When the human rights are action that follows the following criteria. That is, the organization performing the action must be Commonwealth or one of its agents. The action must breach or infringe a right recognized in the International Human Rights Act. And in summary, a breach of human rights is an act by a representative of your state or country infringes upon one of the rights of a person. So at any time we should try as much as possible to make sure we are not actually doing this. One of the things that is expected of us in line with human rights is privacy and confidentiality. And most organizations, of course, they have this as one of their integral part of the policy. The privacy and confidentiality in Australia is guided by the Privacy Act of 1998. And you are expected as a care worker to always follow the organization policies and procedure and maintain the Privacy and Confidentiality as well as Disclosure Act. Assure the client their right to privacy will be respected at all times. So when you are engaging your client, you need to let them know that while you are supporting them, they should be rest assured that you will always uphold their privacy. Make sure that the information that they are giving you or that you are collecting is the one that you only need, and seek informed consent before you actually collect any information from them. Store all this information, and such information can only be used by an authorized person. Even if you want to destroy or anything, there must be a consent given to you from the owner, and make sure all the client personal information are held in line with the organization policies and procedure. Allow the client to seek any correction to all the information whenever they feel like, and if there's any kind of breach with the human rights, you are to properly document this according to the AHRC, and the interactive of the care worker must also be documented in the file report. Yeah, so having talked about the privacy, the next thing we need to look into is negligence or neglect and abuse that we are likely to witness while we are working as a carer or as a support worker. Neglect or abuse is a very big and a very strong part of our job that we must at all time try not to be in that shoe. So abuse can be referred to as an act that causes physical, sexual, or mental injury to a person. Neglect, on the other hand, can be referred to an inaction that also causes the same injury. So abuse and neglect are both serious offenses that affect either children, adults, or elders. So, or even anybody that is living in your care, people receiving support often endure more significant abuse and neglect, and can be taken advantage by abuser due to their perceived helplessness. So, as a care worker, we are expected to look out for any kind of indicators that someone is being abused. And if we actually observe this, we should encourage the client to trust us and tell us or give us the critical information about what has really happened. You may also look out for indicators such as if the person, with regards to neglect, abnormally high appetite or stealing or hoarding food, someone that has not been hoarding food before, if they decide to start keeping food, that means you need to investigate further in order to know what is really going on. If someone is looking a bit dirty or their appearance is smelly, that means that might be because they have not been actually supported appropriately. We should try as much as possible to investigate and see what is happening in this view as well. Having untreated medical condition or even a report of alcohol and drug abuse, dwelling attitude by primary caregiver, all this can be like a symptom of neglect and abuse. So we should ensure that the safety of the person by providing quiet space and some time for them to rest. We should encourage them to contact trusted family member and friends if they need, and we should be able to explain what is happening and what the person options are. We should give them the options so that they can actually make an informed decision. Let the person make their own choice, and if the person's safety is at risk, we should contact the relevant authority. And lastly, once we've done all this, it is our responsibility to report and document it appropriately according to our organization policies and procedure. And this is where we are going to stop our class for today. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.